This is the 12-inch scale Marvel Legends made by Hasbro. See, this is an example of a regular Marvel Legend in packaging right here. And this is the 12-inch. You can see the side of the package here. It also has a reflective quality to it. And the back of the package as well. It's a pretty high quality box. You can see the side art here is different. Has the Marvel Legends series logo. Nothing at the bottom, but the top has the Marvel logo here. Going to open this up and continue the review. This will be a review on the very massive 1/6 scale, also known as the 12-inch scale, Spider-Man Marvel Legend. It's a new action figure made by Hasbro in their expensive, close to $50 retail range. And let's check out this action figure. Very expensive. It's funny, when Toy Biz made the icons in the late 1990s, early 00 decade, they were only about $15 to $20 in range. And they were about 12 inches as well. But I guess price increases and everything. This is $50 retail, which is very expensive. This looks to be based on the Pizza Spidey 6-inch. And let's take a look. And even though it's based on that mold, it is not the same exact thing in terms of the detailing and the articulation. It does have extra accessories. It has these two heads, unmasked head, half unmasked, and 4 different hand pairs here. Let's switch to hands first. This is like the open type of hand pose. Very nicely done here. On this set, you can see the 2 fists. And this is the classic web shooting type hand pose. You can even see the head here, the spider symbol. It's pretty small. It's a dark blue, not too bright in color. This is painted on. All the lining is painted on. It's not like etched in or sculpted on, just like a plain body mold. There is unique sculpting on the eye area here in terms of the sculpt. Then that's painted. I'm going to swap the head out. That's the head. This is the half unmasked head. Very nice, like, attention to detail here, like he's kind of, I don't know, smiling. So he's kind of like partially unmasked look to the character. And finally, Peter Parker head sculpt. This is probably the best Peter Parker head sculpt that Hasbro has made in the Marvel Legends. But unfortunately, it's in the 12-inch scale. And Hasbro, as of yet, have never made a Peter Parker in the 6-inch scale with the main timeline version. Not the Ultimate one, where they did a good figure head sculpt. But in terms of the regular edition, this one. But it's never been in the 6-inch scale, at least as I'm making this video. Though, ideally, maybe they could make one day a 1960s version type look, which would probably be the iconic look for the character unmasked. But this one looks really good in terms of the... It's more like based in the last few years, how the character looks in the books. More modern interpretation. So that's the unmasked Spider-Man look. So you get that. You get this. The half mask. And you get the classic. So let's check out the details here. The sculpting is good. And and the articulation is almost perfect, but we'll get to that in a moment. This is a hinge there. Just a back view. This massive figure is about 11.5 inches tall. Let's get to the articulation. Ball joint, the head. Good down range, up to the sides. The shoulder area has that inner pivot articulation, which is really handy. It adds for more posability in terms of the arms. They swing back good, but they don't really swing up so much, because it cuts off here, and sometimes it goes a little deeper on the figures, but so it is nice that they include that inner pivot. And the ball joint, the shoulder area, can go up, down, in or out. It has a swivel bicep here, double articulation at the elbow area. Nothing here but the wrists, ball joint, spin, in or out. This is kind of weird. The pivot torso, good range here, not too much in or out, and they have a lower pivot, so that is a good range. There is no waist articulation, so you cannot swivel it to the left or to the right, so you could pivot down and you could turn the upper body. But you would think there would be a waist articulation. It's kind of needed, really, to make it even better, but it's lacking. So I don't know why they went with that. They could have just made this a waist articulation, not really need this if they had a good pivot here. So that's kind of weird. Ball joint, in or out, up or down. Swivel thigh. Double knees. And calf articulation. And the ankles are on a ball joint, in, out, to the sides. It even has toe articulation, which Hasbro usually does not do. So they gave toe articulation. The only real articulation point that's missing, and kind of a necessity, is the waist. So it doesn't spin on the waist. Plus, really, if this is a $50 figure retail, you're paying about $55 overall with tax. And that's a pretty expensive figure when a 6-inch figure is like $20 range. So this would have probably been better at a $40 price point, I think, by Hasbro. So Rob, what's my final thoughts on this action figure? You get 4 extra hands, you get 2 extra heads. It's really nice, but it is expensive in that $50 range retail, unless you get it discounted or it goes on sale. And that's an expensive price point, I think, for this new 12-inch line that Hasbro is trying to make and sell to the general public. I'm not sure if parents or individuals who are not real collectors are going to really spend that much. This would have probably been ideally in, I think, the $30 range. Maybe $40 max in terms of quality and everything. Only if you're a really big Spidey fan or really want this figure. Maybe this review will help you decide whether you want it or not, but it is an expensive price point, I gotta admit. The accessories are pretty nice. They gave you quite a few. So that's the review. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later.